to this now. Tamika Sewnarain is a South African citizen who is living in London. She joins us now as we continue to focus on expats voting abroad. How is it going in London? Earlier, Tamika, I spoke to Oli Barrett. There were scores of people queuing outside the High Commission there.
It's really encouraging to see everyone out in their in their droves with their families, thousands and thousands of people, and we're very lucky that we get 2 days. And of course, we are the biggest poll outside of South Africa with the most amount of people who registered to vote. So it's a really encouraging sign to see everybody out in full force.
What moved you to go and vote? Standing in a queue for hours. What for you is at stake in this election?
As a South African, everything. I'm a 36-year-old South African, and nothing brings me greater joy than to see people in my country prosper, live in peace, live in safety and security. And right now, that's not happening. And the only way that's going to change is if we vote, and every vote counts. And I think that should be the motivation behind each and every vote, is for a safer, healthier, happy country. Whether you're abroad, whether you're at home, you really need to make that mark and have an opinion. Because if you don't, there's really, you don't have a leg to stand on in terms of having an opinion or say in the matter of the country. So it's quite an obvious one for me. And I really hope that everyone has taken it to heart and voted either today or tomorrow, and definitely on the 29th.
There are people who say it's an important moment in our country's history. Some go further to even compare it to 1994, the first democratic election. Is that how you also feel?
I was very small in 1994. But I think for me, as a 36-year-old, it feels like we're on the brink of change. Nothing happens overnight. But this period, this year, it really does feel like there's magic in the air, like something is going to happen. People have had enough of, the wrongdoings that have happened to our country. People have had enough of the government and things that are really nasty within our country. I can go on for days and days, like corruption and fraud. So I think this generation has been pushed to a certain extent where they need their voices to be heard. They want their voices to be heard, and they're not going to stop until something changes. So people all over the country, I have friends in South Africa who are literally traveling to other countries so they can vote. They are making plans to make their stamp. I think we really are on the brink of change. And as I said, it's not going to happen overnight, but it sure is here. It's around the corner. Mm-hmm. So it does feel like a very, very monumental election for me.
Is that how other people, feel? I would imagine, standing in that queue, you would have had conversations with, people around you. What do people say?
Most definitely. I think the general feeling is that, even though we live in London, we still are so patriotic, and we always are. I'm speaking from a very, very personal perspective, but I wear, the African necklace around my neck, and I'm very proud to tell people that I am from Africa and I am South African. And the conversation in the queues or something like this, that we can't actually speak about our country or impart any knowledge or give people advice if we don't vote. If you don't vote, you can't have an opinion. And that's what everybody is feeling. So it's a proud moment where people are taking pride in going and putting an X in the box that, for whoever they wish to vote for. There's a sense of pride. There's a sense of unity. There's a sense of we're going to make a change. And it's really great to see that outside of the country.
Do the conversations, extend further to say, this is the time for South Africans, whether you live abroad or you're in the country, to break some some new ground.
Absolutely. And it's, it's the younger voices. I say that tentatively because young is sort of subjective, but it's a lot of the 30 to 40-year-olds that are wanting to make a difference, that are sick and tired of complaining or missing home or not seeing the change that they want to see. It's this generation that is really gearing up for something new and something different and something healthier in the country that they love and that they eventually want to go back home to, because a lot of the people standing in those queues are having those conversations that London is not forever. South Africa is forever. Home will always be home. And there will come a point in our lives where our tenure in London will be over, and then we will look to go home and put our roots down and, retire there, for example.
Tamika Sewnarain, thank you very much for your time.